Normally I wouldn't approach ya without a formal introduction. Never been the type to move fast, but I'm feeling early eruption. Now tell me, are you down with that? Once you rock with me, ain't no coming back. I need a monkey, come hold me down. A real queen, now come wear this crown. Now we rockin' like, oh, holler out, flex up. Now we rockin' like, oh, I'll tell you what's next up. Now we rockin' like, oh, holler out, flex up. Now we rockin' like, oh, I'll tell you what's next up.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Baseball. This episode is called America's Pastime, and the reason why I bring this up is because we're about to talk about our starting lineup all time. And I'm going to start with Mario, Kyle, and then myself for every single position. First off, how y'all feeling right now? I see a Truly out there.
Hey, man.
Hey.
5 o'clock somewhere, bro.
Before I go, man, like I know last time I talked with y'all, I seen this Thor hammer. Where'd that come from, Kyle?
That's actually from Okinawa.
Hey.
It's my going away gift when I left Okinawa.
That's solid. I love that. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about all. We're gonna see where we stand. How many players do we go unanimous on? How many people do we do not go unanimous on? And our very first position is starting pitcher. Starting pitcher, your ace. Who are you going with, Mario? Who is your ace? Who do you know dominantly is going to give you a no-hitter, a shutout, or just give you a really good game?
Hey, as what's his name on ESPN once said, Max Keller, fate of the world, you know, alien laser pointed at the planet. I'm going Randy Johnson. I'm not picking some random dude. Randy Johnson was my favorite pitcher growing up. Yeah, Randy Johnson, my favorite pitcher growing up. Triple Crown, 5-time Cy Young winner. You know what I mean?
The funny part, you taught me this. This man's from the Bay Area, so I'm a bigger fan now.
Yeah.
Now that I know he's from home. Now that he's from home, that's a good.
He grew up a Giants fan. That's why he wanted to finish. He went to the Giants in 09. You know what I mean? For his last season, the dude's nasty. Could ring up people on a 109 mile or 102 mile an hour slider or fastball. Had a nasty slider. The dude was gross.
While everybody's going to Walmart buying weapons to kill birds, this man is killing them with a baseball.
The fastball. Hell yeah. The pitching killer.
Yeah.
Who's your starting pitcher, Kyle?
I'm going to throw it back a little further than Randy Johnson. Don't get me wrong, Randy Johnson is probably one of my favorite pitchers of all time. But I'm going to go with the guy that has the most no-hitters in MLB history with 7, and that is Nolan Ryan. He also holds an ERA of 3.19.
I'm going to ask because this is crazy. Is this the fact that he doesn't have a Cy Young?
He does not. He has 0. I don't know how, but
I got to go back and look at the people who won the Cy Youngs when he was in, because I want to know how
who
much
won
better
it?
These people who was better than Randy Johnson.
Who was better than Nolan Ryan at his time?
Nolan Ryan. I mean, not Randy Johnson. Nolan Ryan. Yeah, I don't know, man. Tell me he's gonna win? That's wild.
What was Nolan Ryan's special pitch?
Fastball.
Yeah, definitely fastball.
Four seam.
Fastball.
This man has 5,700
Fastball. You know what I mean?
So for me,
pitch, fastball. 3-2, fastball.
So for me, I guess we're not unanimous on starting pitcher, but I went with young Pedro Martinez. That was my guy. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm talking about Pedro, the one that threw that one fat white dude on the floor. That's the guy that I want. That man. Plus, MLB show. Anytime I freaking go against someone that has Pedro, I lose. So anytime I see it, I'm already automatically getting out of it because this man's stuff was good. He had it, and even the Cleveland Guardians version of him, that was nasty. So my starting pitcher is gonna go Pedro, And I'm not arguing because I like Randy.
So many pitchers you could pick. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like you could go with them. You could go Roger Clemens if you're into the Sarah era guys. You could go into Cy
Bleeding.
Young.
You could go bleeding sock Kurt Schilling.
You could go into
Yeah.
anybody on the three-headed
Oh, yeah.
monster that was in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, Greg Maddox was
Oh,
a
Greg
beast.
yeah,
Maddox.
Maddox, Smoltz, and Maddox. You know what I mean? Like there's so many pitchers that like anybody could pick, and you're just like, all right, I
Yeah,
see why.
and for me, it was always like I said, Randy Johnson was one of my favorites growing up. And then going off topic, like that Marlins years back then, those pitchers, come on now, like those young, the Marlins back then when they won, I was looking. This is when I was a young kid trying to figure out baseball. When I started looking at the names of the players that were on that team, I'm like, bro, what? They had him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And
Yeah.
a lot of those were pitchers. A lot of them were pitchers, and that's off topic. But that was my starting pitcher. Now we're gonna go for our closer. It's literally 9-8 on the bottom of the ninth, and you gotta close it up. Mario, who you going with? And I think
Best
y'all two
closer.
are. I really see. He just said best closer. That already gave me a
Best
hint.
closer of the game, man.
So I'm gonna tell you before we go, we're not unanimous. I respect the person that you're gonna say, and I think Kyle's gonna say it. But I went opposite, even though I know he is the better closer. I went with this guy, and I'll explain later. But I already know who y'all two going with. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Mario.
You go Mariano Rivera. That's like no debate. He was the
No
best
debate.
player in the game. Most saves at 652 all time. The dude pitched for what feels like an eternity and only had a 2.21 ERA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll take Mariano Rivera. The cutter, like the worst. You know a pitcher is nasty when you know what they're gonna pitch you, and he's still gonna strike you out because they knew the cutter was coming, and it was always gonna be the cutter, and they could do nothing to hit the cutter.
Exactly.
The dude was
exactly
nasty.
how it is. Whoop. So Kyle, go ahead, echo, because I already know you're gonna echo.
As much as it hurts and pains me to say it,
As a Red Sox fan,
it's definitely Rivera. Like, that man was a menace, and I don't understand how he went so long being so great. But there's no other person. I mean, you could choose Hoffman. I'd give you that. There's an argument there.
Trevor.
But-
Ooh.
Yes. But it's Rivera.
Was he
So-
my favorite? No, he wasn't my
Who-
favorite to watch.
So who's your favorite?
Rob Nen.
Oh,
Robnin, you're a homer for that though.
Rob Nen.
oh,
You're a-
God.
Dennis Eckersley, whose jersey I'm wearing now, is to me also, top 5 closer of all time. Like,
Who's your
my favorite?
Who's your favorite? Kyle.
Mine's not a top 5 or even probably top 10. Mine probably would have to be Papelbon.
Pablo was pretty dope though.
Yeah. So for me, I went with the person that whooped our ass in 2002. I'm going with K-Rod. I'm going with Francisco Rodriguez. Bro, this is where I learned what a closer was. This dude came out with his goggles and came out there and dominated. And that's what
Yeah.
Rob Nen is the same thing. Like, I learned closer. It's like, what's a closer? K-Rod to me was that. So I'm saying K-Rod as my
shut the door on you.
as my favorite, but historically we all know and we are unanimous about it's Rivera. Like, that man was nasty, bro. Like you said, he can tell you what he's gonna throw, and you're not even gonna hit it. That's why he's good. But K-Rod to me, I had to change it up because I knew we was gonna go unanimous on that. But K-Rod, he was second to me. Trevor Hoffman, he's good. I'm putting K-Rod over him. I really am.
There's tons of closers that I don't think get the credit they deserve because of them possibly having a shorter shelf life or
Give me
shorter
one.
whatever.
Give me one.
Gagne, Eric Gagne.
Eric
Eric
Gagne. He was
That
nasty.
man, that man won the Cy Young as a closer, and I think he holds the single
Good point.
season record for saves. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he does.
We should look that up, but that's a good point. And I have
Eric
a
Gagne,
good
people like
story. I have a good story about him, and it piggybacks to our last episode with a steroid Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds like, man, you scared to throw me that fastball?
I was wrong. It's your boy K-Rod.
A-Rod.
K-Rod got what?
62.
Listen, I didn't even look at that stat. I didn't.
K-Rod.
But K-Rod,
Yeah.
for me, was always the best closer to me. Mariano Rivera, historically, will get all the praise. But K-Rod was that guy. He would... Plus, he whooped my Giants team in 2002. Every time I knew that we were close and they put K-Rod in, I was like... As a kid, I cried, bro. This is the first time that I seen a team of mine, like growing up in San Francisco, I didn't see a Niner. Like I was, 4 years old, 5 years old when the 49ers won. But this is where I realized sports, and I'm watching. I'm like, yay, my Giants are there, and then K-Rod comes in, like crushes my dreams. That's why I put him as my closer. Because he does that. And that's crazy that y'all brought it up. I didn't even know that. Like, let's put that out there in the atmosphere.
So
I didn't even know that.
When Gagne did it, in 2003, he was the holder until 2008 when K-Rod did it.
That's crazy. That's really crazy.
So, there's so many people that, don't get the credit they deserve. Goose Gossage, Billy Wagner's,
Brian Wilson, baby. Fear the beard.
Yeah, Brian Wilson had a very short shelf life. Also, he was super weird.
Look at bro.
Look, man, I don't know if you ever saw the video of him with the gimp in the background.
Hey, he's super weird, bro.
Weird cat.
He's definitely from he fit San Francisco. That's all I can say.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. He fit the city for sure.
But all of their stars did. Him, Lincecum, Brandon Belt does. Hunter Pence did.
I miss Hunter Pence. He needs to be back, man. I know he ain't playing. He's not playing no more, right?
No, he's. I think he's on MLB TV now.
He needs to be something with the Giants. Give him a position, a janitor or something, bro. We need him. We need him in the system, bro. So we got our starting pitchers. We got our closer. Let's go with the position we talked about last episode that is all in both leagues. Designated hitter. Who is your DH? Mario, go.
The big hurt, Frank Thomas. For me, it was a toss-up. I feel like I just slapped Kyle in the face by saying that.
Kyle, we're probably the same. We're probably the same.
I feel like I just slapped Kyle in the face. Frank Thomas, 2-time MVP, 4-time Silver Slugger.
I can't hate on that, though. I can't hate on that.
I feel like if you're going to pick a DH, you're either going to go either him or who Kyle's most likely going to pick. When I was making the lineup, I wanted a right-handed bat at the time, so I picked Frank Thomas. And I think, you know what I mean? Frank Thomas was nasty. The big hurt.
The big hurt was nasty, and he's still nasty on these cards that you get in MLB The Show.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Kyle, I already know where you're going, and I don't even have to explain. I want you, because me and you are on the same page. Go ahead and push our DH and why we picked him.
I am going with David Ortiz.
A big poppy!
To me, there is no other choice. Yeah, Frank Thomas is great, but I need a left-hander every once in a while.
Jim Thome could have been there too. Like, there's a lot of great DHs, but I was going with you too. So go ahead.
But he had a 931 OPS and 541 home runs. Like, I can't choose anybody. I may be called a homer, but I can't choose anybody but David.
Yeah, you're a homer for that, but I'm also picking him too. It was, growing up, it was the same thing. Like, Manny Ramirez and him, those were people I love to watch. And like I said, I don't know that to anyone watching, please help me because in N64 there was a baseball game. It wasn't High Heat. It wasn't MLB The Show at the time. There was one game that I played where I learned.
You had
Learned about.
Slugfest.
I don't know if it was Slugfest either. I don't know what game it was, but I was addicted to it. Where this is where I learned names of players. But that time it was Big Papi and Manny Ramirez. Those were the guys. Left batter, right batter. What you gonna do? And
the way I looked at it, like if I was a starting pitcher, first of all, I'd never want to be a pitcher any day in my life ever. I can't throw a ball that hard to save my life. But like if I saw this big 6'9" mammoth looking dude in Frank Thomas, I would have to intentionally walk him because I would probably die. You know what I mean? Like that's what I was looking at. I think yes, I feel like they're 1 and 1A. You know what I mean? Like you can.
This is why. Listen, this is why our last topic that we talked about steroid era, why Barry Bonds is so great. He got walked intentionally with bases loaded. So
on more than one occasion.
Yeah. So I don't want to bring that up, but that's just like popped in my head right now.
Yo, you know what's crazy is like imagine if like they had the DH back then. For
Barry Bonds would have been chilling.
Yeah, Barry Bonds would have been.
You know, he'd probably still be playing.
I don't know about that.
At 56 years old.
Hey, you never know.
So we got Big Papi, and then
Yes.
we got the. Oh shoot! Hold on. Threw that thing off, and we got the Hurt, the Big Hurt.
David Ortiz had 17 stolen bases in his career.
What about the Hurt, the Big Hurt?
What about him?
No, I want to see how many steals he had.
Oh, yeah.
0.5.
Probably none. Let's see.
He's got 32.
Those must have been on like pass balls. Those must have been on pass balls.
So we're gonna go right now. We're gonna go into
6'5",
the field now.
240. That man was a lineman.
So we already got our pitcher, our closer, and we got our DH.
Yeah.
Now we're going into the field, and we're gonna go with the position that we both talked about last episode that we don't want to do except Kyle. Catcher. Who is your catcher, Mario? Who is your all-time catcher?
So, you know, as much as I made fun of Kyle for being a homer for the David Ortiz pick, are there better catchers than the person I'm going to pick? Yes, there are. But when you look at this guy, he's done it all. Rookie of the Year, Silver Sluggers, 3 World Series, MVP. I'm
Jason
picking Buster
Varitek?
Posey.
Oh, I was
Buster
about to say.
Posey. I'm picking Buster Posey.
Okay.
And,
Homer!
you know what I mean? Call me a homer if you want. That's fine. The guy was nasty. He hit for contact. He hit for power. Were there better catches around? People will say yes. I'm sure there are. You know what I mean?
Oh, before you continue, like, because you know I'm gonna be a homer too because I like Buster. How many maybe that catcher from Kansas City is the only one to me that rivals. I can't think of any other catcher. And
so like, are we talking all time?
I'm talking about during their time.
Oh, all time, definitely.
Maybe Salvador Perez. I think
that's what I said. From
Kansas
prime, City. That's it. I can't.
His prime, you had there were players that had their primes that probably had shorter peaks or whatever. Yadier Molina, I think, undisputedly is one of the greatest defensive catchers of all time.
Okay,
and his
that was not fair.
His offensive stats are not anything to shake a stick at either. So like he's got some pretty solid offensive stats. Another guy at the time, Joe Mauer, who had a shorter shelf life, couldn't stay healthy as much. Joe Mauer, I think,
I loved him.
You know what I mean? There were points in time where these catchers were better, but in the longevity of it all, I feel like Buster Posey was the best catcher out of them.
Fair enough. Who you got, Kyle?
Someone who is really.
You better not say Jason Varitek, but
I would have chosen him because he's the only catcher to catch 4 no-hitters.
Oh, so let's put that out there.
But no, I went with Jason Varitek's not even playing right now. Yadier Molina, the best defensive catcher of all time.
So it's all time, and if we go to our next episode, he's currently still there. That
Yeah.
man is
So-
still going, man.
This I think is his last season.
Like-
him, Adam Wainwright, they're all calling it. Even Pujols,
they're
they're
all-
all calling it.
Yeah.
But I can't disagree. The Molina brothers, as a whole, they all got rings. They all did great as catchers. I can't.
'Cause you had
disagree.
Benji, you had Yadier, and then you had
Their other brother.
oh man, who's the third Molina? He's like the fourth Beatle. What's his name? He's like the other Beatle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at that now.
Other Molina. Jose Molina.
Yeah, he's like the.
But they all got rings.
You know what I mean? You got Paul McCartney, Ringo
Benji?
Starr, and then the rest of the Beatles.
I think. Hey, correct me if I'm. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Benji and Jose, they beat 2002. They got their ring. Yadier as a Carter got hit. I need y'all to correct me because Jose got a ring, and I think it was from that Angels time with Benji, and then Benji gets another one, being a backup with.
They all have
2010.
2 World Series rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Benji, what? Hold on, fact check me.
Yeah.
Someone
It
look it
says
up. I don't know
Jose-
about.
Jose and Benji with their brother Yadier all won 2 World Series rings in the major leagues.
So where did Jose get his second one? Is my question. Because I
I
know
have
Benji.
no idea.
I know Benji got it 2010 when he was a backup for rookie Posey.
So Jose got it in Anaheim, and I
Yes,
he got it in
2002.
New York. Because he was in
New
Anaheim from 01 to 07, so he got it in 02. And then he got it with the Yankees in 09.
Okay, so
Which is
that's
the
where he
last-
went.
I'm sure he was a backup catcher because
Yes.
Sada was still there.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah, he was a backup. So Yadier, out of the Molinas, he was the best out of the Molinas because
Oh,
he
yeah,
started.
that's
He
like
started
90%.
for both of those rings because Benji was a backup to your pick right now at catcher, rookie Busty Posey. So who's your,
And Benji also had to step in when Buster Posey was injured for that year.
so you went Busty, and then you went. Who'd you go with?
Yachty.
And then I went with Pudge. I went with Pudge Rodriguez. That was my. Look, you can go like you say for everything we're talking about. You can go so many ways. But Pudge, like I said, I don't know the video game that I played, but Pudge Rodriguez. Every time I did a fantasy draft, that was my catcher every single time. Pudge, I don't know.
Because you could go Pudge, you could go Yogi Berra, you could go Gary Carter's another one.
Piazza.
You could go- Piazza's another one. You can go. What
There's
was
a
his
lot.
name from Cincinnati?
There's a lot.
What's that?
No, I'm saying like there's a lot of picks, but I went with
Yeah.
Pudge for sure.
I picked the sentimental pick.
All right, so your favorite position, first base. I think we're unanimous on this.
Yeah.
I really think we're unanimous. He's wiping his face. Let's find out.
Did he
Mario.
change? He had
Mario-
to change his stretch over there.
M-
All right.
Which-
The
Mario-
machine, man.
The machine.
The machine. Albert Pujols.
Kyle, are you unanimous or what?
I went with a guy that probably lied
Oh my gosh!
into the league.
All right, Mario.
I also
Mario.
went Albert Pujols.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
we know damn well Albert Pujols is probably 65 years old playing in first base.
Yeah.
You know?
and he's pitching.
Yeah, he was. Albert Pujols was that Iron 12 guy from the movie The Benchwarmers.
Yes.
All right, so look, are you going with Albert Pujols too, or do you
Yes.
have another one?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
We're
Absolutely.
unanimous though. So
Absolutely.
which one of y'all want to explain why?
I got it, man. Pujols. Let's discount and take away the Angels years when they were just dumping money into people for not getting anything in return. Could just like Barry Bonds in his Pittsburgh years, Pujols could make the Hall of Fame off of his St. Louis years alone with 3 MVPs.
Period.
You know what I mean? 13 All-Stars. The guy right
Rookie
now,
of the
or
year.
not 13 All-Stars, my bad. 10 All-Stars. And, like, the guy was nasty. 681 home runs. Now that he's DHing, he probabably can, I think he has 682 now. He can easily catch that this year if he just straight DHs. St. Louis has been known to be a fairly decent hitter's park. You know what I mean? The guy's the best first baseman of all time. I don't think there's any first baseman that rivals Albert Pujols ever. I don't think there's anybody in any way or form. Like, stat wise,
Very well said.
Pujols is the guy. Pujols was Trout before Trout was Trout. I promise you.
And it's sad that they both played on the same team. That's what's sad
Yeah.
about it.
And got nothing out of it.
When he went, I was like, man, that's a real good pickup. And then
I said the same thing for Anthony Rendon. And look what the Angels are doing,
But
bro.
Anaheim has been known to dump money into people and get nothing out of it. They did it to him, Upton, you name it. They were dumping money into people, and I don't know what's in the water in Anaheim, but whatever it is,
The
it makes you
Angels,
rich as soon as you land.
the Angels are nothing more than the Los Angeles Clippers. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Facts.
That's all it is. Get these big names and fuck their whole damn.
But
career.
you know what? They're doing it this year, and like mentally, like I want to see the Angels succeed.
I'm cheering for them. I'm a Mike Trout
Anthony
fan.
Rendon fan. Everybody loves
Them
Trout.
too.
Everybody loves Shohei, and like they're doing it this year. I'm just like, the AOS is not that great minus Houston. I'm just
They can
curious to see
they
what
can
they
do
with
it.
that.
They can do it.
Oh yeah, they definitely can.
You know what I mean? I'm just curious to see what they do with that.
Okay, so
we'll see.
We went first base. Now we're going to the second base. Now my guy, it's a homer. So I'm gonna go Mario first. Who's your
For second base,
second base?
y'all gonna hate me for this because he was my favorite second baseman growing up, and I was a big fan of this team growing up, watching them play. Chase Utley was my guy. Like, Chase Utley was the guy that made me want to play second base. And I'm not talking like kicking spikes at somebody, Los Angeles Dodgers, Chase Utley. I'm talking about MVP, Philadelphia Phillies, Chase Utley. That was always my guy. They had him, Brian Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Roy Halladay, Cole Hamels. They were nasty.
Oh,
You know?
you're talking about the program that we're going on right now.
Yeah. Look, Chase Utley will always be my favorite second baseman of all time. Joe Morgan, I feel like, is the best second baseman ever, but Chase Utley, he brings that fire, that leadership. His glove was nasty. The guy could hit for days. I love Chase Utley, and I will always be a Chase Utley fan prior to being in LA.
Please say you said Dustin. You going DP, Kyle? Or no?
Oh, yes. I'm gonna go with a homer.
Homer. I'm going Homer too.
His whole team should be Red Sox and Pujols.
No, it's not. I'm going with a smaller guy toward baseball standards, and I'm going with Dustin Pedroia. 5'9", 170. And growing up, I loved watching him. He played, I think it was 2014. He played the whole year with like a broken finger. And he just had that mental capacity of playing through every single thing, no matter what. And I loved that growing up.
Man.
And David Ortiz still didn't remember his name.
For the first 7 years.
Still didn't. I was about to bring it up. Still didn't even bring it his name. Listen, my second baseman.
Well, 2 World Series together.
And still didn't know his name.
Nope.
What was his name? Pee Wee, right?
Yeah.
That's tough.
That
Win an MVP in the World Series and people can call you Pee Wee.
I would have been mad. He's small poppy for me.
Who you got, Fred?
Who you think, man? I'm a homer. Who's the best second baseman on the Giants?
Jeff
Kent. Jeff Kent, all day. And the reason why is not only was he a good glove, he was a real big bat, but everyone knew how uncomfortable it was to deal with Barry Bonds in the clubhouse. And only one person stuck up and said, "Motherfucker, I'm here too." I loved it. And this is why, this is a good example of how Kobe was explaining when Ron Artest came there. I want someone like that because he's gonna freaking, You know what I'm saying? He's gonna stand up for himself. Jeff Kent, when he left to the Astros, I was heartbroken, but he was my guy. Like when I think second baseman, growing up, my favorite second baseman, Chase Utley. I'll tell you, that was my guy. You said Joe Morgan. Yeah, I didn't grow up, but if we're gonna talk about while we're living, and we watched it, Chase Utley, yes. So I'll give him that. But my favorite was Jeff Kent because I knew that he was gonna stand up for himself no matter what. Because we all knew the diva that Barry Bonds was as a player. We all knew that, and Jeff Kent wasn't giving no shits about it.
And like Jeff Kent was a star in his own right. Like he won an MVP. You know what I mean? And on top of that, like you need guys in the locker room, leaders essentially, who are not like when you have divas like that, you need leaders to balance people out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like if you just let that one guy, the Barry Bondses or the Antonio Browns, you know, of the world do whatever they want, then that's just gonna be chaos. You know what I mean?
He was all about work, man. He was work.
You know? Like Jeff Kent came there, wasn't gonna get pushed around, came to play, and he got an MVP out of it. Almost got a World Series out of it. You know what I mean? Like the fact that they almost won a World Series with two dudes that hated each other is wild to me.
That's a good point.
That's insane.
That's a really good point.
They almost won a World Series with two dudes that could not stand each other.
That's a good point.
Which is crazy.
Hey, so we're going to... I don't want to even want to waste time on this position because I think we're unanimous. I hope we are. If not, then I need y'all to explain why we're not unanimous at shortstop. Mario, go ahead.
Jr., baby.
Okay,
Cal
now
Ripken Jr.
we're not unanimous. So, damn, man. I
Cal
don't even
Ripken
want to.
Jr.
I don't even want to
Iron
argue.
Man,
I don't want to argue.
I went with Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr.
I went with the captain. Listen, for Cal Ripken, when I started watching, he was a third baseman. That was my guy that I learned. But when I think about like rings and stuff like that, greatness, like man, the captain was my guy.
Now listen, Jeter.
I'm not saying Ripken Jr. is not shortstop GOAT.
Jeter was the second best shortstop on his own team.
You gonna put A-Rod like that?
Oh, absolutely. A-Rod was 100% better than Jeter.
Absolutely.
I don't want to argue. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, like, there are so many. I could name like a few shortstop I would pick over Derek Jeter personally.
Ooh, I went with the captain, man.
Yeah, the jump.
Charlie Jr., Ozzie Smith, Barry Larkin was another one. I'd take Omar Vizquel over Derek Jeter, and that's probably blasphemous to say to people.
Mario, you can say that for every position we just talked about, though.
Like, don't get me wrong.
For every position we just talked about. Go ahead, Kyle. My bad.
The jump throw was iconic. I'll give you that. But he put himself in those positions a lot of the time to have to make the jump through.
Bro.
Look, I'm not trying to like fight with you on
No, I'm not. So listen. When one person went to a team, he had to change the position. Was it Jeter or was it Rod?
It was A-Rod, but that was because it was already Jeter's team.
Yeah.
It was already his team.
Yeah. Now
let me ask y'all. No. Let me ask this question.
Because I'll tell you this.
Let me ask this question though.
If Jeter had went to Seattle and A-Rod was really shortstop, Jeter would have moved over to third.
Would you do that though? As a manager, would you make Jeter a third baseman over Rod being
not if it was already your team?
No. I think how great you guys are putting A-Rod, which he is, I think he would have been more movable than Jeter.
Honestly, this is gonna sound like one of the most blasphemous things I will probably ever say. I'd have put Jeter at second.
Yeah.
What better middle infield tandem would there have been with Jeter at second and A-Rod at short?
But who would
Yeah.
play third for New York at that time? And who was second at that time? Right now that we're talking
I think it was
about that?
Soriano. That's what I want to say.
Yes, Alfonso Soriano.
I think
He
it was
has
Soriano.
he has his own respect at second. So that's why I'm saying like see now we got our wheels turning.
Yeah.
Alfonso Soriano at
I'm
second.
cross-referencing
So
this
now,
information.
yeah, no. This is good content. Would you let the better player, because we all agree that A-Rod was better than Jeter, play shortstop and make Jeter a third, or would you have made the person that we all know is great and make it movable to third? Because
If
I
I'll
at
tell you
short, go ahead.
you're not gonna be ready for my answer, all right?
I'm ready.
If I am the GM, manager, whatever, okay, I'm pulling both of them into the office. And if Jeter is the leader and captain that he says he is, and I tell him that we have a player who has more range at short, a better option at short, and we're moving you to third, Jeter would be 100% okay with that because that's what's going to make the team better.
But how confident are you to know that he can play third?
That's the thing. I don't know if Jeter had the arm strength to play third.
That's where
like,
I'm going with this. Is like
the thing is,
I
like,
have confidence that A-Rod can play a lot of other positions because
Yeah.
how great he is. I don't have confidence that the captain can do that.
Jeter had the arm strength. He was just always making bad reads at short. Why not put him at a place where you don't have to move and make those reads, and all you got to do is
The hot corner?
snag a ball and toss it, huh?
So the high corner, you don't have to make that many reads. It's either
You
coming
don't have to
at
make the
you.
reads that a shortstop has to make,
True. I get it. Okay.
and you don't have to have the range that a shortstop has at third. And we all know that A-Rod had worlds better range
Yeah.
than Jeter did,
So you would have put him at third.
or second. But if you had Soriano there, then whatever. I would have put him at third.
I disagree only because I knew how great A-Rod was, that he could adjust everywhere on the infield if he had to. That's the only reason why I disagree, because I feel like through and through, the captain was a shortstop, and I don't second. Yes, I can see him at second, but we already established that Soriano was
Yeah.
there.
So,
I
but
just
then,
can't.
But then you could have also plugged Soriano in the outfield
Yeah.
because all you had was Bernie Williams and Hideki Matsui. I can't even name who the other outfielder was. You could have plugged him anywhere in the
What
outfield.
you mean? It's the manager right now.
Who?
What's his name? The manager right now. What's the Yankees manager? Right
Girardi? No, not Girardi. Who is it?
now? Freak. Hold on. It's the one that freaking upset the Boston Red Sox.
Who is their manager right now? Fucking
Aaron Boone.
It is boom.
Alfonso Soriano was a world's better player than Aaron Boone was.
Yeah, but who?
By forward.
What? Yes, I get that. Put him out
You could
there.
put Bernie
but,
Williams in center. You could put Hideki Matsui in left.
but
And
was-
put Soriano in right.
but who was your third baseman that was good enough to not let Aaron Boone play?
You tell
That's
me
where I'm
the
going
Yankees you tell me the Yankees didn't have the money to trade for somebody else?
Facts.
Not during the playoffs. This is where I'm going with this.
Prior to.
Yeah, but-
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to show you the other side of it. I get what you're
All
saying.
right, so Cal Ripken, like I said, I'm being devil's advocate with y'all.
Same.
But
We're all playing devil's advocate.
but I just cannot do that, man. Let's get away
I
from
get it.
shortstop. Let's go hot corner. Who's your hot corner?
Me? I think we're all unanimous on this. One of the two. One of.
This
the
is
two
my
greatest-
wife's. This is my wife's little crush when she was growing up. So if
one
you
of
don't,
the-
this is my wife's she wants to name our next kid this guy. So
That would be
if
dope.
it's not
That
if
would
it's
be absolutely.
That's how you know you picked the right one.
if it's not him that you guys are talking about, because she was born and raised in Atlanta, then we're not
One of the
unanimous.
two greatest switch hitters of all time, Chipper Jones.
Chipper! Shout out to my
Easily.
wife, Symphony.
Yeah.
We got your man crush on here.
Chipper Jones. That's there's probably like one other third baseman that I would be okay with anybody
Who?
taking over him.
Chavez.
Who? No, Mike Schmidt.
Okay.
Mike Schmidt. But like Chipper Jones, power from both, had pop from both sides, conquered both sides. You could kind of plug him and play him at other positions if you needed him. Chipper Jones is that guy. Chipper Jones will always be that guy, and I feel like we've got to be unanimous on this.
We're unanimous, and if
Yeah.
Kyle, do you have to explain more than what Mario said?
No, absolutely.
Exactly.
Like,
All right,
what
so-
else do you need to say?
I'm not even gonna explain nothing besides that my wife loves him. So we're gonna go opposite side. I was gonna go left behind third, but we're gonna go right field. So we're gonna go right field. So I think that all of us are putting players out of their positions because we know they can play that position. But in right field, who do you have, Mario?
So I have an actual right fielder in this position.
Me too.
Mine is also one of my childhood guys that I like to watch in his later years. You're gonna hate me because it's in the same division as the Giants, but I was a big Tony Gwynn fan. I think Tony Gwynn behind Pete Rose, or even 1 and 2 on 1A, 1BM, I think are the two greatest hitters of all time.
I'm not mad
And
at
I
that.
actually spoke to a guy when I was at the minor league game. Bob Costas was doing a show, and he was talking about how he was just sitting in between a conversation between Tony Gwynn and Pete Rose, and they were just talking about hitting. I would have loved to just be a fly on the wall for that conversation.
Facts.
Like, I don't even want to have to say anything. I just want to be there for that conversation. I think Tony Gwynn is by far one of the greatest hitters of all time. Like, pure hitters of all time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Ever.
I'm not gonna debate that at all.
Yeah.
That's a good pick, Kyle,
Mr. Padre.
Mr. Padre.
I went
Yeah.
with Gallery. He's a right fielder. He might have not had the best stats,
Who
but
was it?
he was good for hitting balls off the ground for home runs. And this man had an arm for days. I went with Vladimir Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Senior. I love his batting stance. Like I told you in the last episode, when it comes to batting stances, he was one of my favorites.
The dude was nasty. Old
Yeah.
Big Daddy Vladdy, as they
Yeah.
call him
Big
now.
Daddy Vladdy.
Big Daddy Vladdy, as they call him now.
He
The
hit
dude
for
was
power,
nasty.
like you said about when you was hitting with Corbin Burns. That man per square every time he swung. He never
Right.
extra circle.
In the dirt,
He was.
at the net.
It doesn't matter. Square.
Like,
He was power hitting always
He was
with no
playing full
gloves.
He was playing. Yeah, he was playing golf when he was playing baseball. Man, the dude was gross.
For me,
The dude was nasty.
y'all have some excellent choices, but I went with my favorite is Ichiro Suzuki. That man was my guy. You could plug him in at any outfield, but I put him at right because that was naturally where he was playing. Bro,
Yeah.
Ichiro to me was like I said, we all knew each other from Japan. I used to go down to the seawall, and there's a baseball field there. I used to watch these kids, and they do the slap hit, where they just slap and go, slap and go, slap and go.
That's a huge thing in Japan.
Yes, and that's why as a
Huge
baseball
thing,
fan, watching that, it's like, man, they really teach these kids this. It's not
Yeah.
someone just doing it naturally. It's they were raised to do that, and that's why I was fortunate enough, like y'all two were, as baseball fans, to watch that culture of Japan, because Japan is a big powerhouse when it comes to baseball. Shout out to Shohei, the cover boy. Bro, Ichiro, every time, and I learned it because when I swung and missed, he was ready to run every time, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then it just taught me, like, that's the way they were taught. Like, once
Bro,
you get
you know what
contact, you
Ichiro
gotta
did?
go.
You know what
No.
Ichiro did after he retired from pro baseball?
What do you
From
do?
MLB? He went back to Japan and was pitching pro baseball out there in
Yep.
his 40s, throwing
Yep.
93 to 95 at 40 something years old, bro.
and
That's
if
that's news to me.
Shohei, if Ichiro would have played his entire career in MLB, he would be the hits leader.
Oh yeah,
That's
oh yeah.
that's my right field for sure.
Like,
so we're gonna
like if there was ever a guy that you said, "Wow, this guy loves the game of baseball," that guy like eats, sleeps, breathes
Yep.
it. Like,
That was
spends
my
his
guy,
day
bro.
every day of his life around it. Like
He was, and
that's
if
a gamer, bro.
he was my leadoff always, bro. Like
Oh
anytime I
yeah,
put a
This
team, that
motherfucker
was
was
my guy.
fast as fuck.
You
hell
were
yeah.
not fucking with him, bro. So we go there for a guy that I picked that could play center field. That's where we're going with this. I hope we're unanimous at this position, but
Oh, if we're not, like, I'm gonna leave this chat. And we can't be friends.
so we're unanimous. So that means we're unanimous. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Mario. Say it.
the kid, man, Ken Griffey
The kid.
Jr. The
The
kid.
kid. The Michael Jordan of baseball with the shoes.
My,
Yes.
With the backwards hat, the earring.
my childhood hero, and probably every man's childhood hero. You know, the guy was the only travesty was he left right before Seattle won that World Series.
Yep.
That's the only blemish on him in my eyes. But the guy was nasty.
That's the same with Randy Johnson. 09 Giants, right? We win it in
Yeah,
10.
but Randy Johnson still got the 01 World Series, and I'm
True.
pretty sure he got one in Arizona too.
No, that he got
No?
one in Arizona.
No, he
He
won
got-
it in 01. Did he?
He got one in Arizona with Kurt Schilling and Luis Gonzalez.
And then he has two, right?
Yes. Yes. But what I'm saying is he's from
Yeah.
the Bay Area. And he could have got
Yeah.
one the next year. So I'm not saying
Oh,
all
yeah.
that. I'm not saying like, yeah, this and that, but like you're saying the same thing. Like if he would have stayed one more year, it would have been that. It's crazy.
Like, what can you say about Ken Griffey? He was the definition of a five-tool player. Had it all. And on top of that, like, people watched baseball just to watch Ken Griffey Jr. You know?
And he
People
still
who were baseball fans, the casuals, they were turning it on just to watch.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know?
And it was because of, like I said, he's the Michael Jordan of baseball because of fashion.
Yeah.
He put swag into baseball. He put swag
And
into baseball.
It's funny because they're trying to make Otani like that guy, that face of baseball, and so on and so forth. But, like, I don't think there will ever be.
Ken Griffey.
Also,
No.
MLB as a whole just is awful with marketing their players, anyways.
I think they were close with Fernando Tatis because he brings swag to the table. Yeah.
Then he got into.
I think they got close with him because he brings that swag. He definitely does.
They're both.
Yes.
But it's just it's hard. It's hard with baseball. I don't know what baseball is not able to do that the other leagues are able to do, but they're like, I don't think because of who runs MLB, I don't think there'll ever be another Ken Griffey Jr. ever.
You won't see that. I mean, we got these kids like Vlad Guerrero. Yeah, we got Vlad Jr. We got Tatis. We got these players, Acuna. We got some swag coming, but it's never gonna be on that same level. I agree.
Especially in Toronto right now.
Oh yeah.
But listen,
Toronto right now.
listen, like those players that I just named, they're bringing back baseball because baseball was born for a minute as far as marketing. They got these little popular kids doing their thing. Vlad, Tatis.
What's nice is you get all these old guys that live by the unwritten rules of baseball and so on and so forth. And I think the unwritten rules are stupid. First of all,
they're not.
You know what I mean?
Their opinion don't count no more because we have a different audience. This is the same thing I talk about with the United States Army. All these old heads in the Army be like, oh, this is not how we used to do it. Well, guess what? We're in 2022.
Yep.
This is not the same Army back then. You need to cater to this. And this is the same thing with sports. You have to cater to the audience that's watching this specific baseball.
When people get all upset and they're all just like, they're breaking the unwritten rules, my immediate reply is always, well, show me that in writing. You know what I mean? Because, like, it's not real. I'm not going to I'm not going to worry about your feelings.
I think there's only one unwritten rule that I would never break.
What's that?
Bunt
to break up a no-hitter.
Yeah, that's like a dirty move. That's like a dirty ass move.
I would literally, like, if he gets on first base, I would literally figure out how I'm gonna freaking throw the ball at him at first base. You really fucked up my career for that.
Like in sports, especially at the pro level, like, I ain't gonna worry about your feelings. Just because I'm up 10 runs, why should I stop trying? Like, stop trying? while you're still trying to get back in the game. That makes zero sense to me. You know what I mean? That makes no sense to me.
All right, so
I've always like stuff like that, like not walking across the pitcher's mound, and I think that's all like stupid. That's all so dumb.
all right, we're gonna finish up our all-time team right now with the last position. We're not going unanimous. I already know this. Mario,
No.
who's your left fielder?
The fastest man alive, the man of STEAL, Ricky Henderson, man of steel. Like the guy.
So I don't even have to go to Kyle on this.
Nope, you don't.
Best base stealer of all time. I'm taking Ricky Henderson all day.
You see that team right there?
Yep. Oh.
Don't ask me who I'm picking, but I'm gonna pick him because I know that
Give it to me.
if you're gonna freaking walk me when I have a full base, best left fielder of all
Yeah.
time, you cannot tell me that someone's at the mound and saying, "Damn, we're down 1. I got bases are loaded, and I'm about to give up a run right now to tie it because this man is that feared." Hey, Ricky Henderson for me is one of those guys too. I fear him when he's on base. Like as soon as as soon as you try to pitch that, it's a wrap. So I get it.
1,400 stolen bases.
I get it.
Like,
I understand that. I went Barry Bonds. Y'all know the deal.
So as much as I think the steroid guy should be in, I just left him off the list because, like I said, if I would have put them in there, Roger Clemens would have been my pitcher. Mark McGwire would have been my first baseman. You know, Sosa and Bonds are both going to be in the outfield for me.
That's a
You know
different
what I mean?
topic because I'm not putting Mark McGwire over the machine. I'm sorry.
You know.
I mean, Mark McGwire wasn't a bad first baseman.
I didn't say he
You
was,
know?
but I'm just saying like it.
You know what I mean? Like
it don't even have to do with
my team outlook is going to be different. My shortstop may or may not have been Miguel Tejada. You know.
You make
know
an
what I mean?
all-hero team, huh?
funny as hell.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like my team's gonna look different, so
That's
I tried
good.
to keep it like more
Steroid
level.
free.
Yeah, for now.
Drug
Want to come
free.
back and add steroid guys to the roster?
We're about to do that. We're definitely gonna do that.
I can squeeze in some spots for like Rafael Palmeiro and some of the others. You know what I mean?
Jose Canseco.
Listen,
Yeah, you know.
everyone that's watching Subtle Flex right now, y'all see who we picked for all time. Comment, like, subscribe, and let me know who you disagree with because I already know that y'all gonna be like, whatever. I want to hear it because I want to debate y'all too. Add Discord, and we're gonna add you on this damn debate. But this is our second episode, and I want to let y'all know that hey, I appreciate y'all time, and I appreciate the content. I'm looking forward to our next episode of baseball. We're gonna talk about, and I'm gonna bring it up. We're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about this current MLB. Who is your top? So we already know all 3 of our all-time teams, but now we're gonna talk about the current players right now, and it's very interesting. And I'm really happy that I got these 2 because we talk. We definitely talk baseball. So, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching my last episode.